Hello guys, Burgeonn here. Sony's Xperia 10-7 doubles down on identity at a time when many mid-rangers feel interchangeable. It favors ergonomics over edge-to-edge theatrics, practicality over hype, and longevity over speed chasing. You're not buying raw specs as much as you're buying a philosophy, a compact, media-first phone with user-centric extras, and a clean, long-supported Android build. The 10-7's more compact 6.1-inch footprint and moderate thickness make it unusually comfortable, especially for one-handed use. The shorter but wider 19.5:9 aspect ratio gives it a stout stance that's less slippery than tall, narrow rivals. The top and bottom bezels house proper stereo speakers and an 8MP selfie cam without resorting to a punch hole. It looks retro, but it solves real usability issues. No cutouts in videos, fewer accidental touches. The new visor-style camera bar modernizes the back without being flashy. It spreads weight evenly and helps the phone sit flatter on a desk. Expect a practical mix, aluminum/plastic frame and matte back, that prioritizes grip, scratch hiding, and weight savings over glossy glass theatrics. It won't scream premium, but it feels thoughtfully made and durable. If Sony keeps its usual IP rating in this line, it's a quietly reassuring bonus for a mid-ranger. The jump to 120 Hz is overdue and welcome, making the UI feel snappier. Colors are natural by default with Sony's characteristic restraint, less oversaturated than some rivals, with good calibration options for accuracy. Peak brightness is competent outdoors, and HDR playback looks crisp, though not class-leading. Sony's video image processing tends toward natural contrast and motion handling that cinephiles appreciate. Multiple reports note occasional stutter in scrolling or when quickly switching apps. It's likely a mix of software scheduling and mid-tier GPU limits rather than panel quality. Gamers chasing ultra-fluid 120 frames per second will hit ceilings in heavier titles. Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 on 4nm is efficient and steady. Paired with 8GB RAM/128GB storage, the phone handles messaging, browsing, maps, and media with ease. Thermal throttling is modest. The chassis stays comfortable. High-refresh competitive titles will require lowered settings and still won't rival Dimensity 8300 or Snapdragon 7's Gen 2 devices. Camera has excellent detail, controlled sharpening, and natural color science. Skin tones look realistic rather than Instagram-ready. Dynamic range is solid if not the widest. Bigger sensor plus OIS yields respectable night performance with stable exposures and decent texture retention. However, expect less aggressive noise reduction and brightening than Pixels or Galaxies, sometimes darker but more true to scene. Night mode is useful, just slower and less dramatic. A quick note to my fast-tracking audience. The Sony Xperia 10-7 isn't just a phone. It's a media companion built for immersive sound. Whether you're chasing crisp vocals, cinematic bass, or studio-grade clarity, these hand-picked audio accessories unlock its full potential. Rediscover the joy of analog audio with the Sony MDR7506 brass-housed, noise-isolating, and tuned for Xperia's native sound profile. Or go premium with the Sennheiser HD569, where German engineering meets pocket-sized fidelity. Ready to upgrade your soundstage? Tap the links below in the description to explore these Xperia-optimized audio companions. Every listen brings you closer to the sound Sony intended. The 5,000 mAh cell plus efficient silicon equals easy all-day endurance and often a day and a half for light users. Streaming, navigation, and photography hardly dent it compared to some 120 Hz rivals. The trade-off is speed. Charging is serviceable rather than fast, and there's no wireless charging. Sony's battery care/charging caps help preserve long-term capacity, complementing the multi-year support promise. The 3.5mm headphone jack is still rare and still valuable. Low latency, no dongles, and better pairing with high-impedance headphones than most USB-C dongles. Side fingerprint reader is fast, reliable, and less finicky than many under-display sensors. Button placement is convenient for right-hand use and acceptable for left. Front-facing stereo alignment gives coherent soundstage for video and games, even if absolute volume and bass trail the best. An update policy of 4 major OS releases and 6 years of security patches are standouts at this price, rivaling or exceeding many peers. This directly raises the phone's long-term value, especially when paired with the big battery and gentle charging strategy. There's privacy and stability with fewer intrusive services and ads. It feels more yours out of the box than many mid-ranges. There's solid 5G network with good band coverage in Europe/UK markets. Dual SIM variants plus microSD mean real flexibility for travel. Haptics are clean, precise buzzes rather than hollow rattles. Not flagship-grade HD haptics, but far better tuned than typical budget phones. Bluetooth have a strong codec support on Xperia's, LDAC especially, which pairs perfectly with the headphone jack for audiophiles. Pricing has £400 to €450 positions among aggressive rivals that often deliver faster charging, higher Antutu scores, and flashier marketing. The Xperia 10-7 is not trying to be the loudest mid-ranger. It's trying to be the most considerate. It blends a compact, ergonomic design with a calibrated display, honest cameras, marathon battery life, and a refreshingly light software package backed by lengthy support. For Xperia loyalists, travelers, audiophiles, and anyone fed up with trend-chasing phones, this is a quietly excellent choice. For the mainstream buyer chasing raw speed, faster charging, or camera, wow, better value exists elsewhere. But if you want a phone that feels designed around you and stays that way for years, the Xperia 10 earns its niche with conviction. Thanks for watching.